Hi, this is Joe from Beards, Blades, and Hair, and today we're reviewing SheaMoisture's Waves Pomade. Check it out, Waves Pomade. Definitely an interesting one, because I don't know if they make it anymore. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory on this pomade as I show you how much I scoop out. You have to use a lot. So in this instance, you end up scooping out a lot of beard oil as you use it. The story behind this one's kind of funny. I've been on the search for a shea butter based pomade because, as mentioned many times on this channel, my favorite pomade of all time is Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Their pomade, their oil, they call it oil based pomade, but it's really shea butter based. And so I've thought to myself, is there another shea butter based pomade that is good? And the ingredients for the main three ingredients, starting from the most common. So if you ever read an ingredients list, I'm probably telling you something you already know, but the first ingredient is the most amount that's in there. And number one is actually castor oil, but number two is shea butter, and number three is wax for this pomade. So it's largely shea butter based, but it also has it's definitely a lot of castor oil. And why it's called Waves Pomade is, I think it's intended for black men to, have you ever seen the hairstyle that black men sometimes have where they kind of have indents or waves in their hair? That's what this is intended for. It's not really intended for a white man to do the style that you are accustomed to seeing me do with my hair. It's different. So, but I'm familiar with products, or in my experience, products that are intended for black men. Another one would be like a Maurice pomade, which I hate, but not because it's intended, it doesn't serve its intended purpose or non-intended purpose in styling a white man's hair. Essentially what I'm saying is you can use the product to get your hairstyle even though it's intended for a black person's hair. So I decided to give it a shot and see what the heck we're dealing with here, and if it's something that I loved. And I can tell you, first impressions were not great. When I first started to use this pomade, I wasn't getting the best styling. It was clumping. Didn't love it. Did not love it. But I figured out the trick, and this is the good and the bad thing, is if you have to use a lot of it, as you saw with my scoop outs, you end up having to use a lot, which makes it work great. But the negative being that you're going to kind of run out of it. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, and I think this supply won't last me much longer than, maybe a couple months, which for a pomade is not much. And I think they don't make it anymore, as I mentioned earlier. I went on their website to try to see, because I bought it on Amazon, but it was available from other sellers, which is kind of not a red flag, but it's like, oh, why aren't they selling it? And it may be a situation where I don't know if they're taking it back to reformulate it. I don't know if they just want to get out of making a pomade, but just so you know, I don't know if this one's going to last super, super long. So styling wise, I think that it does a great job. It ends up looking really good, and it's a very high shine, which I'm neutral on. Shine, no shine is not really my, I'm good with when there's shine. I'm good when there's not shine. That's fine. But I would say it holds up extremely well. It doesn't clump up throughout the day. It stays pretty good. And wash it. Another thing that's really nice, because it's not petroleum based, which is most of your pomades, by the way, are petroleum based. So they'll have, the petroleum is really what makes it difficult to comb through, and you can see the comb through on this is like butter, shea butter, huh? All right. But it's a super smooth comb through, similar to maybe a little bit less good as like a Bro Cream. Bro Cream is like the king of comb through, but it's super easy. Definitely see combs through super easy. Doesn't clump up throughout the day. We'll come back and I'll show you midday as well as the end of the day to kind of prove that out. But I think this is a really solid one. It's not, I told you at the beginning that this was a search for a competitor or something that could beat the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements pomade. I would not say it does that, and for a couple of reasons. One would be, because the first ingredient is castor oil, it is a very oily. I guess I don't have a better word than just calling oily. But yeah, this stuff, if you touch your hair throughout the day, you're gonna get some oil. You're gonna get oil on your hands, no question. Oil up your pillows, those types of things. Versus something, say for example, even a petroleum-based pomade is just not going to rub off very much. And then also, even if you use a Brill cream, someone can touch your hair and it's not a problem. So if you have a spouse who likes to touch your hair, or significant other of any kind, it's a bit of a downside. And if you like to touch your hair, it can also be a downside. Like I said, not a huge, it's not like it's your hand's just a greasy mess, but it does, it does absolutely get oil in your hands. So just something to be aware of as you go. So, liking how it's styling here. I think we got it for our look for the day. So you can take a look. This is the beginning of the day. How the beard oil, geez, how the pomade styles. Let's take a look at the top of the head just to get a look at it. And like I said, I'll come throughout the day. It's $15 for, I believe this is 4 ounces. Let me confirm that super quickly. And I can't see. Okay, we're going to confirm that later, but I believe it's 4 ounces of product. And like I said, I think you'll go through it relatively fast. So it is a touch pricey for how long it's going to last, but yeah, I love it. Let's come back midday and show you an updated look. And we're back to show you an update on the SheaMoisture Waves Pomade. You can see that it's still holding up really well. There's nothing like any clumping or any kind of, I would say, degradation in the look. It holds up super well. I want to mention one more thing before we cut it to look at the end of night look, or end of the day look, I should say. I wanted to mention that the washout on the SheaMoisture pomade is excellent. You don't have to do anything special. For those of you familiar with my other videos, a petroleum-based pomade is really hard to wash out, and you typically have to use Aussie 3-Minute Miracle. Put it into your hair, it's a conditioner, and wait 10 minutes, and then take a shower, and then use your normal shampoo. So that's definitely something you don't have to do. Your normal solid soap will wash it out. Something really light, I'm in the process of reviewing Beard Octane's solid beard wash. That isn't strong enough to take it out, but by contrast, Beard Octane's soap, actually, bar soap does a great job, just takes it out without any issues. All right, we'll come back and take a look at what it looks like at night. And we are back for the end of the night look. As you can see, it's starting to clump a bit here and there. But overall, it's held up super, super well. And I'm very complimentary of it. That's why I've been using it consistently for weeks now. Big fan, big fan. I want to mention one more thing before we drop off for the evening, is the scent. I would call it a sweet scent, almost like a cocoa kind of scent, but it's very mild. I don't smell it, as far as my nose is from my head, I don't smell it right now, and neither will anyone else who's not coming up and sniffing your head. So you'll smell it in the can, you'll smell it applying, but it's pretty mild, and it's mostly just for you. With that being said, this has been Joe from Beards, Blades, and Hair, and until next time.